segment.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. Over to you, sir.
There we go. Well. Hello. Absolutely monumental pump on Bitty, and admittedly other things. So I think this stems down to what Cake and I were talking about. In fact, I think it was Cake that coined it in July, and he says he's not interested in Bitcoin until coming into August. And lo and behold, we're coming to August, and what happens? We end up pumping like 8% nearest, damn it. So massive credits Cake for that. We normally see this, if you look back at statistics, you'll see that August, typically speaking, can have some fairly good pumping months. End of the summer holidays, then coming into September. Now, September, we joke about this all the time. Coming in September, this is typically speaking when the volatility starts coming back into the market. People are done with the summer holidays. People are getting back to the desk. Trading resumes. It's also got other historical relevances, but let's not go into those now. And we're starting to see that. Well, as you guys know, we did take along in the group from these lows because it was, again, just as a quick recap, really simple, really fucking simple. You can clown on different types of tier all you want, but bottom line is just get rid of that laughable fib. Sorry, Cake. We hit that golden pocket. Literally hit that golden pocket perfectly. We front run it in June. Then we hit it on the 1st of July. And since then, we have pumped from 58k up to 80k over 40%. Just from a simple fib. It's literally that simple. Literally that simple. You can make it as complex as you want, and you can give me a million other reasons why it pumped there, and fine, they're all right. They're all right. Because the truth is, if enough people were watching this level to defend it, we all had the right theses. Whether it was golden pocket, whether it was an order block, whether it was a volume profile, whether it was a point of control, it makes no difference what it was. If enough people were watching that level, it was likely going to have a reaction. Did it cause a reaction? Yes, it caused a reaction. Okay. And now, yeah, where we are. So, we did have a really nice trade in this live in the group. I'm not going to go through it right now. But effectively, we traded this portion of the move. In fact, have I still got it here? Yeah, I do. Still in this trade. Not closed out yet. If I hadn't have taken partials, it would be a 63R trade by now, which is a bit mental. But obviously I've taken partials, so I'm not going to sit here and laugh like what some of your favourite crypto Twitter people would do. Look at my 63R trade. But yeah, really nice and simple. Did I expect it to go this high? No, I didn't. What I was expecting, this is the same as what Cake was expecting, is we were looking at previous month high, which is this. This was our draw. Okay, so what does that mean? It's our target, our draw on liquidity. And ultimately, I wanted these range highs. And in the end, we blasted straight through these range highs. Did not have a pullback to give as a short trade. Looking at this, I'm on a 4-hour chart here. We blasted straight through these highs. In fact, let's draw it on, shall we? Should we do this? Right, range low, range high, deviation. We blasted straight through. Let's even come down to the 30-minute chart. And people say, well, yeah, but you were looking at shorting that, Spitty. Why didn't you short it? Well, is there any reason to short that? It came up. It had a small pullback, stayed outside of the range high, did not ever come back into that range, and then proceeded to carry on making high highs, high lows, and high highs, and high lows. And what's the point in shorting it? You're being an absolute fool if you're going to stand in the way of that. Okay. And in the end, it turned into a gigantic short squeeze. Awesome. So now we are here. Okay. Now, I think the first thing to address is the bottom in. Okay. And everyone is asking the same question, and everyone's posting their theses on Twitter, on YouTube, all your laps, and say, yeah, bottom's in, but yeah. Could it be in? Yeah, it could. It could. Is that a valid bottom on Bitcoin? Yes. Statistically, it has never turned around a bear market this shallow. Statistically, it never has done. Now, if you are a member of ours and a student and you've seen my macro tops and bottoms every single cycle and how to count them, you'll know that this is statistically the shallowest bottom it's ever had, if it is the bottom. If it is. Is there a chance that it could be? Yes. Macro AOI for me. Okay. I don't have many areas of interest on a macro that I'm interested in swing trading from. This is one of them, which is why we hold longs. Do we know for certain? No. How do we know for certain? And this is where people are going to start losing interest. I'm going to lose a few of you here, because a few of you here will be wanting a concrete yes or no, is the bottom in. You know what the honest truth is? Is the bottom in here? Well, how will we know? Well, we know when that gets cracked. And I know some of you are going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, but so-and-so said it's in. And so-and-so said it's not in. So yeah, none of us know. I wish I could sit here and tell you. I wish Kate could come on next and tell you.
It's in.
It's in. It's done. That's it. It's bottom. But it's a glorified guess. Above 103. I think it's 103. Yeah, it's 103 for me. Above 103. My statistical odds of the bottom being in increases dramatically. I'll tell you that on stream. Statistically, I know. Above that level, odds of that being the bottom increases dramatically. But it's not 100% unless that level's crossed. And that sounds daft, doesn't it? But the truth is, none of us know. When I told my team back here that I was deploying spot, did I know categorically that that was the bottom? No. How did I know that was the bottom? Well, not until that line got crossed. Above this here, where the ETF came online, that's where statistics favoured higher prices, rather than taking out these lows. Same here. And I know people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. It's the truth, because we've got to work in probabilities. And right here, I cannot give you a 100% probability that that's the bottom. And that anyone that longed is safe. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, these are my key macro levels right now. Okay, these are my key macro levels. Now, locally, we've got an interesting thing going on, because we're still underneath this. Okay, we're still underneath this. Okay, so just to do a quick little bit of analysis here. Do this. Okay. Now, we can see here, looking at this is a downtrending volume profile from the all-time high to the actual lows. And I've stopped it there, stopped it dead. Okay, anything after that I'm not interested in right now. If we come up and take these highs, first and foremost, what's the obvious? Okay, if we're just going to treat this bigger area as a larger range, let's do it this way, shall we? Right, treat it as a larger range. Let's get rid of this dotted line that's in between here. Well, what are you looking for at a range high? Just like I was looking for at these range highs. If it gives me it. I'm looking to see if it gives me a short opportunity. If it does, if it gets above and then falls back down below into the range, breaks some structure, cool. I'll short it. And it really is that simple. It really is that simple. If it doesn't give me that, well, just there's a big clue where I'm going to be looking. Where's my next sticky zone? Okay, where's my next sticky zone? Well, it's here. And yes, you could have said, well, this is your point of control, but I'm also going to say, well, to be fair, this and this isn't much different from the point of control. But each one of these is going to be a major sticky zone. So we're going to have one at 87.7. We're going to have one around 90. psychological round number. Everyone loves a good psychological round number. And then above that, we're going to have a major zone at 91.4. Okay? So this whole area becomes my next sticky zone. Oh, can I draw it? Let's see. This whole area becomes my sticky zone. Okay? What does that mean? It means, well, within this, I'm not looking to long. This would be, I'm taking profits on longs. I'm looking for new shorts. Just like down here right now. This zone here. I'm not looking to long. Why would I long into a range high? I know full well if it's a range high, well, most people are going to be looking to take profit up here. Okay? It's not really the place where you get FOMO on long and chase the move. That just sounds silly. So, 2 sticky zones right now. We're technically in one right now. And if you have paid attention to any stream of ours, in fact, we've got the man himself on here, haven't we? There we go. We're up against the 886, El Jefe. This zone here, I'm not going to be logging into this. Because realistically, if this is still downtrending, that's a high, and that's a lower low, well, this still technically can be a lower high, can't it? From a fib point of view, this is kind of as high as you want it to go. Anything above here, well, then you start looking at taking these highs. Okay, so we literally could roll over from here. Is it likely? Right now, no. If we do come back down here, the previous month high, then yeah, statistically, my odds massively favour taking out those lows. As long as we stay above previous month high here, then we're not going to think about that. We're still locally uptrending. Okay. So, TLDR for me. Right now, we are up against a sticky zone. A rather large sticky zone. It's not where I'm looking for longs. If anything, I've taken profits on both of my long trades, and I'm actively looking for shorts. Okay? Anywhere within this, I just need to see some setup criteria. Okay? I've got a local setup criteria within this, which the guys already know from this morning. And then obviously up here, I've got a new setup criteria. So, we're up against resistance until proven otherwise. I'm still bullish as long as we remain above previous month high. But if we start to lose these lows, lose the EQ, and then start getting down underneath previous month high, then I am bearish to... There's my big influencer arrow. Still have these. We do that? Yeah, we do. This low. But if we lose previous month high, I'm looking for this low, and then I'm looking for these lows. Okay. If we stay above these lows, roughly around 75.5, then we're still locally bullish. But once again, I'm going to reiterate, I'm not longing into resistance. I'm happy holding longs from here and here. I'm not happy longing here. It doesn't make sense to me. This is where my own system should be scaling out or scaling in. Scaling on pullbacks, scale out as it goes up if you are longing. Okay. And that's about it from me, Cake.
Lovely. Let's have a little look then, shall we?
Big one.
How's the order flow looking? I know we mentioned there was a spot sell wall, right? Recently. Are we gonna discuss,
there was.
We're gonna discuss these things.
No, because it got pulled.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the order flow is like at the minute, though. Yeah, so start of this week, I was bullish. So me and Spitty on a Monday, we do a weekly outlook. So on a Monday morning, we go through what we're looking at from the higher time frames and what we're expecting of this week. I opened up the week bullish to these highs with roughly 68 to 70% probability of taking those highs. And then I did a little bit of, I suppose, what's the word for it? A little bit of sort of psychology of the market, a little bit. So what I was thinking was, we've moved up very aggressively, and it kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, you did obviously have that crypto summit with Trump, you know, all that jazz, but we never really knew what was going to come out of that necessarily. Obviously, most of the XRP army were telling you how it was going to be super bullish, and for once they were right. So we've got to give them their flowers. Realistically, we have had an incredible pump. In the grand scheme of things, it's still only like a small pump, isn't it? But for me, I was bullish to these highs here, and then I looked at the current price action, and my theory was the majority of people have probably missed out and been sidelined by this pump. You know, aside from your major bag holders who are probably, you know, a little bit closer to break even now, probably still underwater. But I felt that I felt like there was more pain for us to have some sort of a shallow pullback and continue higher, and that's exactly what happened. We didn't get any more of a pullback because there's all these people waiting for a pullback, waiting for some long to get in on the move, and it just makes sense for that pain to continue and for us to go higher. Plus, we had this nice little range deviation, came back inside the range, took out that liquidity. So I did have a little scalp long, but I had to attend a hospital appointment with my other half, so I trailed my stops and basically got taken out of that wick before it eventually took the highs. Made a little bit of profits on the day. It's not major, but it's better than a slap in the dick. So that was my theory from going into the week. Now, realistically, I'm at a place where I'm just waiting to see what happens. Now that we've taken this weekly high, I'm looking to see some sort of... I can't actually tell if that candle is bullish or bearish. It's bullish. So I'm looking for some sign of weakness now. So if we start to close this 4-hour candle below here, then what it looks like we might be putting in is a bit of a weekly swing formation. So when we go into next week, I'll be looking to trade either side of this weekly candle based upon what the structure tells me internally. So I'm looking at a 4-hour chart, but I'm using the 4-hour data to help me map or frame, as I call it, the weekly candle. So right now I'm considering, how is this high progressing? Are we going to show weakness and come back inside? Because we have taken ADK. We have come up into those higher bound fibs where we haven't taken liquidity. You got that 92, 95 fib. Shout out Fugazi, El Jefe. So realistically at this point, I'm just looking for the market to show its hand. I have not made any predictions whether we're going to go higher or lower. That for me was already done when I was saying to everybody, I expect this monthly gap to be hit. I drawn a big fat magnet on it and put it in our newsletter 2 weeks ago. I was that confident. And again, the simplest strategy in the world. I looked at the monthly candle, high, low. Do I expect the high to go or do I expect the low to go? The fact was that we'd already swept that low there. We had a monthly swing formation and we had this naked monthly gap. And by naked, it's just a brand new fair value gap that's never been touched before. A bit like a virgin. Naked. So that was the draw on liquidity and we got it. We absolutely fired straight through it, and fair play to the bulls. At this point, I'm just waiting to see what the market does because there's no doubt that this was a very aggressive move and it was very thin. So if price was to take out these highs and start to come down into here, to be honest, I'm not that bothered about longs. In honesty, I think we could fall back through that very quickly. What goes up must come down kind of thing. We can validate that a little bit if we look at like... just get the hourly on, so TPO's not there. I mean, obviously there's going to be fib extensions, there's going to be VWAP, there's going to be various levels, but if we look at just a simple volume profile from this low to this high, so that was the initial impulse, and there was little periods here where we could see little bits of volume, so maybe you get some reactions around this zone here. You've got this zone here. So these should offer some sort of reaction. But in honesty, I see this as quite thin. And I'm happy to just wait and see, to be honest. I think from a macro perspective, it's actually really interesting at the minute. If this is going to be a narrative that launches Bitcoin, and we are going to see more liquidity pumped into the system via, you know, all these bond rate decisions and things that we've seen recently. You know, gold took a big massive jump recently as well. How's she doing? Yeah, she's doing a little she's doing pretty well, breaking out of that channel. Well, yeah, if we do see this narrative really take hold and we do start to break some meaningful structure, realistically, what I'm starting to do again is just look towards the next monthly turn, and this being August, next month being September, I'm looking for some sort of confirmation that we are really bullish, and I'm going to be looking for structure to support that. So I'm going to be looking for some sort of monthly open, be looking for some sort of low, and then I'm going to look for the lower timeframes to align themselves with that monthly bias. I'm going to look to see trading that higher. But it's nice to see this thing has actually got off its ass, because it was extremely boring. And yeah, fair play to anybody who's caught some great moves. We've got some lieutenants in the group who are absolutely killing crypto right now. So obviously, when Bitcoin moves, there is that trickle down effect. So we've had Kai, we've had Lion, we've had Evelyn, we've had a few of the guys absolutely killing altcoins recently. Some major moves. So there's a bit more fun to have in crypto, and it's quite exciting, to be honest. We'll just wait and see how she gets on. I am very intrigued to see whether we see any weakness like this. Maybe we come back down to this wickless candle. Maybe we see some reactions from these levels here. But this being quite a thin move, I'd be very cautious on longs personally. I'm much more interested to see that next month, that turn of the month, and then I could start to frame that monthly candle, and I could look to trade upon that. With Bitcoin, for me, it's all about that higher time frame swing as opposed to anything on the lower time frames or intraday. But yeah, that's about it. Question from TF. So from what I'm seeing, you guys still don't think the bottom is in, right? One leg down for Max Payne to take it anyway. Everybody forwarded longs. If anybody says definitively the bottom is in, I think they're full of shit, because there's nobody knows if the bottom is in or not. I think the ingredients are here for a bottom, for sure, much better than they were previously, because the market has shown some intention, it's shown some momentum to actually move. You've got some narrative backing it, like I have been saying for years now. Crypto needs narrative. You've got this Clarity Act and all the various stuff going on. You've got the bond market potentially helping liquidity constraints. The narrative is there for Bitcoin to actually move. We just need to see it prove itself a bit more. Okay, and that's just a waiting game. So for anyone who says definitively the bottom is in, they might be right, but they're also full of shit. As simple as that.
Yeah. Just to add to that, like, everyone can sit there and have a prediction, but predictions don't mean shit. It's who's got money on the line, who's making money out of it. I could sit here and say, well, I hold a long, because I technically hold a long from here, somewhere around here. Basically, we had the monthly swing failure pattern. It's straightforward. And I'm in a long here.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me get your jaw.
Sorry, go on. Sorry. I'm in a long from down here. Somewhere around here. I don't know. It's in the Discord. I don't have my charts open with me.
But put it this way: if there's a macro swing point, if there's a pivot on the chart that moves aggressively, Spitty's either long or short of it. Fucking bastard.
But the thing how I trade is I'm in a long from here, but I still hold a short from here. Okay, this short from up here, I've had several take profits all the way down in major zones. This long here, I've had 2 take profits so far. It's risk free. This is risk free. I've had more take profits out of this because it's run further, and I've had less take profits out of this because it's got the potential to run further. Now, the thing is, right now, I can say to you, yeah, bottom's in. And then tomorrow, it could just do this. Now, was I right by saying bottom's in? No. Did I make money from that low? Yes. That's what's important. That's the one thing that people seem to get wrong in this game, because everybody's too busy watching influencers. Oh yeah, I told you bottom's in. Oh yeah, I told you top's in. Yeah, these same people said that was the bottom. They said that was the bottom. They said that was the bottom. They told you to long this breakout. They told you to long that breakout. Oh, that's the bottom. Cool. They told you to long that breakout. And there we are, still making lower highs and lower lows. So the fact is the bottom in or not? Who gives a shit? Have I made money from it? Yes. And that's the sort of question you should be asking yourself. Was this a macro pivot? Macro area of interest? Yes, cool. Did I take a long out of it? Yes, because I didn't listen to anyone else saying it's going lower. Even though I've got lower areas that I'd like to trade from. It's still a macro area. So therefore, if it gives me a setup, which it did, because it was an absolute beautiful... In fact, I'm sure there's a shot about this with Cake asking for one more low on the new month. And we got the trade. Okay, so right now I get to sit in this place, and people hate traders when we say this. Bear in mind, I've been doing this for 10 years.
Low in. Or not.
If the low is in, go look at my reply to your message on Twitter. Public. All of you go find it. Because that would be it. That would be it. If she follows the same pattern that she always has done every single time, that would be it. But that's only if the bottom is in now. And that same methodology has worked every single... I'm not going to get the chart up, by the way, because I ain't giving that shit away for free. If you're desperate to know how I call every single Bitcoin top and bottom, 825 quid and go find the latest chart and chill module. You will literally see how I call the top and bottom every single cycle. It's a piece of piss. It's not a magical indicator. But yeah, seriously, it's so simple. It works. But yeah, there was a reason why when I think we were back here somewhere, and I gave you the red box of doom. Red box of doom was like that. I believe it was 115 to 123. I gave you that target live on public YouTube. I think we were somewhere around here. From memory. In fact, no. It would have been somewhere around here. So I needed that pivot to be in. And I'll do the same every single cycle. But yeah, if that message that I replied to you on Twitter, Fugazi, is my theoretical top forecast. If that low holds. If that low doesn't hold, then that number will come down.
Oh, I found it.
Oh.
I found the number.
What was the number?
You want me to say?
Yeah, say it.
220.
220, there you go.
You heard it here first.
220. If that's the bottom, that number is what I will look for the top. It won't be perfect. Just like you can see, my red box is not perfect. It'll be somewhere around there. Once it gets to it, then we'll just find a way of nailing it. Exactly what we did this time. In fact, this one would arguably the easiest top to find because we just had this like perfect 1618. The swing fairly pattern, a lot of breakout buyers, fall back down below, and then we just watched everyone scream manipulation when this Friday night I was out with my friend. We'd just been to watch a band. Whiskies deep, and it just absolutely collapsed. And everyone's like, "Oh, manipulation!" It wasn't manipulation. I'm sorry. It was the fact that you just had an absolute monumental cluster of breakout buyers up here through a massive spot take profit wall. And then if price fell back down below said take profit wall, and all those breakout buyers got put offside, well, what are they going to do? They're going to puke. And they puked. But everyone that got wrecked blamed it on manipulation because they can't accept the fact that you don't long tops.
I love long and tops.
Intermediate tops on NQ is fine. Not top tops.
I get away with it because I close out the trade within 5 minutes.
I got away with it up there. Yeah, no, that wall was huge.
Yeah, I remember. What was it, 46 or something like that?
It was it was somewhere around that. It was massive. No, I think it was in 70s, wasn't it? Massive. But yeah, that's the answer to your question.
All right. Any final questions for the macro pivot master or my hairy ass?
How hairy is your ass? I don't know if I should answer that.
Yeah, let's keep that one for the pilots.
It's tomorrow afternoon's question.
Yeah. Anywho.
Yeah.
If there are no final questions, thank you everybody for coming along. Share it with your friends. Make sure you're here next week. In 45 minutes, or 35 minutes. In 35 minutes, you've got another live stream in our Discord with Lion, who has been fucking murdering it. He caught 2 trades yesterday on live.
I'm not sure if there were 2. No, there were definitely one. There was the long.
Yeah, he caught an awesome long into the highs, and then he
It was
caught
a lovely long.
Yeah, and then he caught a cheeky shot with a CP1 and a break even.
Was this one, wasn't it? It was this long that he caught yesterday because we had it came down into VWAP. And both him and Evelyn were looking to take that back up. It was a beautiful cheeky long.
Yep.
Oh, nice. I enjoyed that.
So,
yeah.
Is our schedule. So, yeah, like we just said, we've got, after our public stream, we've got Lion trading crypto live for the pilots in the Discord, and then tomorrow morning we'll have Spitty's plans for the day, and that will be followed by me and Spitty trading live for New York. Our stats are looking pretty fucking sweet. We're just about to finish our 12-month of live trading between me and Spitty. We've had how many sessions? A lot, over 130 sessions. 144 sessions locked. Our average return per month is 34R. Best month is 74.5, which was September. October. September we did really well, 53. But every single month we've been profitable. Our session win rates are at 74% at the moment. And if you go to our website, you can see on the proof page a full update of exactly what's going on. This updates itself every single day. So if you want to keep a track on us, you can see exactly what's going on. And if you want to come along to those sessions and learn how we trade, we've got some nice learning modules for you to get up to speed. And if you want to just come along and take whatever trade me and Spitty take, that's your choice. You can pay for your membership quite easily by just copying us.
Shh.
But regardless, we create traders who actually trade for themselves. We teach people how to fish. We don't fish for them, and that's why we've got some of the best results that you'll find from a trading educational program. So, on that note, I think we're all done, aren't we, Spit?
We are indeed. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Look, there's a lion. Oh my god. We'll be joining the buy search for more gayness. Yeah, come along, brother. You know how it works inside Discord. Spitty with his overly homoerotic humor.
Oh, whoa.
But we'll leave it there.
My wife's watching this.
All right, guys.
Have an awesome day, guys.
See you later.
Easy buys.